My first guest on today's show, Drew McIntyre. How about it, Drew McIntyre?
It's the third time I've been on this stage today. I really want it renamed the Drew stage, at least today.
I mean, look, to say that you are carrying your weight for the WWE would be a drastic understatement at this point, don't you think?
What time is it right now? Just based on today, I haven't stopped moving since 10 a.m. The time's flowing by. Like, just seeing all our fans in person, one of my favorite things to do. Because I'm the craziest wrestling fan. I took it too far. And seeing, I don't know much about other sports, but I know like the baseball players, football players, basketball players are very famous, but our fans are destroying every single one of their fans. We're selling out all our guys, and the day's flowing by. I know I've heard most all day. I was just trolling over the entrance thing. I did CM Punk's entrance. You'll see it in my social media. but yeah, fuck CM Punk.
Okay, there it is.
But yeah, I've been hearing about him yesterday, and basically every single person that came to get my autograph, they got his autograph. My picture, they got his picture. Like, man, he's just really not a nice person. He was.
They were saying that?
Oh, I'm honest, swear to God.
Wow.
And I was like, it's almost like I've been telling the truth this whole freaking time. It takes a little longer to get through to the ones at the back of the line, but eventually the truth comes out. I know nostalgia is strong. He was gone for so long. The legend grew, the name was chanted. But the truth is, he's not a professional wrestler anymore. He's an attraction. He brings some eyeballs. And sadly, he went against the most dangerous in the mic, the most dangerous in the ring, and I'm exposing him.
Well, let me ask you, because the last time we spoke was right before SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And now you've had the match. The match with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre actually happened. How did he feel in the ring? Was it surprising? Because it seemed to me, as a fan watching along, that he really hadn't missed a step. You guys went for a long time, you went hard, and it was very evenly paced. Were you surprised at how good Punk was?
Yeah, let's not go insane and say evenly paced. 6'5", 280-pound monster here. Cardio machine, sexy Scotsman. But yeah. When he said the biggest thing he's got going for him is his heart, it's true, and it's not necessarily his heart. He's one of the most stubborn pieces of crap on planet Earth. He's so stubborn, he just won't give up. He'll keep pushing forward, and I was surprised when I got hit with the first punch, how much I felt it. I was surprised when he kept kicking out, and most of all, I was surprised by his durability, cardio, so he caught me off guard in that way. Honestly, I've been in the ring with the best of the best the past 10 years. He still ranks right up there as much as I take the piss. Rightfully so. He still can get it done in the ring, but most of all, he just refuses to give up, which is like Christmas for me, because I know fine well he won't stop until his heart does, and I have no problem with making that happen. The SummerSlam, people were like, oh, but Drew, you kicked him low. And I'm like, remember what happened in Scotland? How he cost me the match? It's almost like everything that happens to him is absolutely deserved. Well, find me one time where I lied, where I was a hypocrite. You won't find it. He literally lied last week, and when Drew called me a hypocrite, I went, no shit, you're a liar. You're a hypocrite. You said you weren't there. You attacked me from behind. I've never lied once. I only tell the truth. God, it felt good to beat CM Punk.
It feels good. It feels good, but you have to understand, I mean, you're a man. You've got loved ones.
More than a man.
More than a man.
Oh, man.
I mean, look at the size of this guy. And that's what they said, by the way. I said, Drew McIntyre is going to come and do the show. They said, is he the big, tall, muscular guy from this morning? I said, yeah, that's exactly.
Yeah, he said, Drew, someone's running late. Can you do me a solid? Imagine you asked Punk that. He would have said, go screw yourself. My private jet's waiting in his little suit, corporate man Punk. Drew's there for you, there for the fans every single time. And that's not a bit. Again, I just tell the truth. Sounds like I'm doing a bit, but I'm literally just telling the truth.
I mean, guys, this thing, 25 minutes ago, I was just scrambling around, and I saw this Scottish warrior standing there with his hood up. I said, Drew, do you want to? He goes, I think I'm going to go talk shit to some of the fans. I said, you want to do it on stage? You want to do another podcast real quick? He said, yes. That was literally how he got here. And he did it for you.
That's what we're here for. One, it's fun to
you.
chat with yourself, and two, I'm all about pleasure in the fans, first and foremost.
Yeah. How did you feel about, like, this match had so much build and so much story and so much depth. When that bell rang and you were like, not that it's the only time you'll ever wrestle, because clearly you're not done, but the first match is that first, okay, we're not just talking, this is what it was all leading up to. How did you feel right away about the final product? After the match was done, yeah.
Yeah, very, very satisfied. To say that in the back of my mind I was genuinely concerned he was going to injure himself, I wouldn't be lying. Looking at history and having that sour taste for everybody else coming out of it, that's a big investment right there. Personally, I don't care if he gets hurt or not, but that's a big investment right there. So to go through the match after telling such a deep layered story that feels real because it is freaking real, and then to go in and have Seth in there, as much as he drives me up the freaking wall at times, people were clearly invested in the story to the point where I've never heard such a reaction. And this isn't the official bracelet. It's nice and safe. I got to keep it safe from the crazy fans that keep trying to steal it. But for the bracelet and how much it means to the story, how much it obviously means to Punk, how much I get to screw with them with that bracelet, and the reactions every time it was on different wrists, to see it all play out was awesome. But no more better than to finish the match, have the bracelet on my wrist, have my foot on Punk's chest, and say, bugger off where you bloody belong. But I was very happy, yes.
Yeah, I would imagine. Did you guys love the match? Yeah. And I think it's even cooler and adds to the organic nature of your story when, like, I kind of assumed that at some point, like, let's be honest, somebody made the bracelet and said, oh, this would be a good part in this storyline and stuff. Then all of a sudden I'm on Twitter and the girl who made the bracelet, who gave it to CM Punk, is tweeting about it, and you're like, this is all true. This is all real. Like, this was really a gift that a fan gave to Punk that Drew stole, that has added this layer to the story. I mean, there are people who say that right now in the WWE, it goes the Ulafala and the bracelet, and then the WWE and the World Heavyweight Championship. Like, the bracelet has become one of the prized possessions that a superstar can have.
I mean, in our job, it's all about emotional connection, and things change in rankings and importance depending what's going on in TV at the time. But I would say the way people feel right now when the bracelet's involved, that it supersedes the world title and the WWE title as well. Maybe that'll change. That's up to them to tell their story, get the fans feeling a certain way emotionally. But we've got them feeling that way, and the reason we do is because, thankfully, with the new, creative freedom, Triple H leading the charge, it's basically a case of, here's your platform, guys. I know y'all don't like each other, but if it is entertaining for the fans, we're going to let you kind of run free and do your thing, and we have ran more than free. I have unloaded left and right and left and right. I'm surprised he's not been committed the amount of things I've said about him. So maybe he's a little stronger mentally than he used to be, because he's very mentally weak, and he's certainly physically weak. So I give Punk that much credit.
Yeah. Although you did say that you were surprised at just how stubborn he was. I mean, that is a mental strength to be able to get in there and just take beatings and keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. There is a strength to that.
Yeah.
Yes?
I mean, I've said all along, his heart, his stubbornness,
yeah,
is his greatest weapon against somebody like me. But the problem is, I can dish out the beatings all day long. I'll never stop. Last week, he attacked me from behind, managed to get my own belt off of me, and beat me with that thing, like, pretty violently. As a kid, I never got the belt or anything. I used to tell people the worst feeling I could get from my parents was them saying I'm disappointed. And that was even worse than a belt. I was wrong. I'm sorry to anybody I've ever said that to, because after feeling a belt last week, that sucks. Yeah. Oh my goodness, parents, never do that to your kids. That is wrong. Yeah. But the thing is, I can take it. I had the marks on me, but when someone my size is going to get his retribution, because he's going to get that back, imagine what I'm going to do to Punk when I start whipping him. He's going to turn to dust.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Because you guys do not appear to have a fondness for each other, but somehow you're kind of joined together. Like, this is a rivalry that hasn't stopped, that is clearly going on to another match. I would imagine multiple additional matches, and we're very close to November. You are approaching about a year attached to CM Punk. If I had told you...
I mean, how long was he out for?
But if I had told you last summer, next year, your 2024 is going to be all about you and CM Punk, you would have thought I was absolutely crazy. Do you ever think about how sort of surreal the position that you're in is, from an outsider's perspective?
Yeah, if I take myself out my own shoes, step back, even in my own shoes, if you told me that prior to November, I would say there's no way he's ever going to be back in WWE, never mind him and I in a match together. And then also, you know, having the feelings that I have for him, for my first run in the company, growing up around him, and things I've not touched upon, but he negatively affected my career and life in certain ways when I was a kid. And I remember that, and it's well documented. He was a piece of crap. It is a piece of crap, especially back then. So, yeah, I could never have imagined it happening. And I also probably knew I'm going to rough him up the first chance I get. And I did that. And his little tricep fell off the bone. So if he wants to keep coming after SummerSlam, I mean, I'm all for it. He said he won't stop. And he'll make sure that I will never be world champion. And I know that's true until he is officially out of WWE. So we're going to go until one of us is not in the company anymore, at least not in the same brand, it feels like, because I want to be world champion. He's prevented it multiple times. So we're just going to have to, I don't know, one way or the other, exile the other out of the company.
I mean, it really does start to feel like that last scene in The Dark Knight when the Batman and Joker are looking at each other and realizing we're going to do this for a long, long time. Is that something that you're comfortable with, that relationship? I always look at that, those rivals that are linked forever, and I think at a point we thought it would be Seth Rollins and CM Punk, but now it seems that this has kind of superseded everything. If it turns out that for the rest of your guys' career, you're cosmically linked through violence to CM Punk, is that something you're okay with?
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it's what the fans enjoy and what they have that connection with, so I'm cool with that, but I'd rather that I took him out and he was out the company already and I was world champion and holding on to it right now, but yeah, I mean, people are entertained by it. I'm fine kicking his arse constantly. I hate his stupid face. I hate everything about him. I hate that he's poisoned people's minds to believe he's this messiah. I said nostalgia's a hell of a thing. We're still living in the Punk nostalgia era. But watching him up here yesterday, seeing the clips in his little suit, towing the line, giving crappy little answers. Say a nice thing about Drew. He's the fourth best person to wear a kilt. So, oh man, controversial. You got me there, PG Punk. That hurts as much as the stuff I say about you. But come on, look at the way he's evolved or devolved. He was the Punk. He was the anti-superstar. He said whatever he wanted back in the day, and I admired that part of him as much as I didn't like him. Now he toes the company line. He kisses the company arse, tries to justify that big contract, when I, who tried to be more of a Cena type when I was younger and do everything I possibly could, even smile when I didn't want to smile, and I just wanted to say, get lost, go screw yourself. And I've started saying, go screw yourself, you deserve it now. Now I have become more Punk than CM Punk, and he hates that.
Well, guys, we're going to leave it there. I cannot begin to thank you enough for jumping in here, dude. I really appreciate it. And I know that everybody here appreciates it. Ladies and gentlemen, Drew McIntyre.